Hello, and welcome to the Streaming Rainbow Podcast, a place where we bring together our stories with your ears. These stories were originally recorded for YouTube, and now they are here for you in pure audio form. Join our crew of storytellers as we dive into fantastical realms and tell human stories. Grab your dice and buckle up your wizard hats. It's time for the games to begin. Welcome to Halley's Children Ticonderoga. Aeternatis weeps.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 4 of Halley's Children Ticonderoga. I am Serafina Smith, the person lucky enough to be running this game. With me are David playing Halfthor, Lara playing Ida, Cam playing Anush, and Courtney playing Yelena. Boy, that last episode ended on a stressful note, didn't it? But thanks to the combined efforts of the empowered people present, with a tidal wave and a cannon fire and a rat infestation and the defection of the native warriors, followed by the rest of the army, now the fort is cleared and our heroes are free to await the fall of the meteor. Robert has sent his army on, under command of his second, to further the campaign in New France, but more importantly, to get the army out of the way and keep anyone from being hurt. A small force was left stationed outside the fort to protect it from any reappearance of some of the deserted troops that once filled it. The fort itself is still standing well. Its walls and buildings were undamaged by the powder explosion, and due to the large amount of water present in the fort, it also did not catch fire. We rejoin our group as the star is about to fall. Hurt and Gilgamesh are working to clear the rubble and detritus from the explosion, and as they work, Gilgamesh is telling Hurt more about the history of the people he is about to join. Most everyone else is currently enjoying what could be called a picnic luncheon, with food taken from the fort's larder and spread out on blankets in the courtyard. There are a ridiculous amount of cats roaming around. A group of them, including Bast, are asleep in a soft pile underneath one of the ramparts. The Morrigan, hosted by Cuchulainn, the rest of her being spread out among the remaining French officers who were given the choice to leave or stay and become empowered, and chose the latter, is having a quiet discussion in one corner with Edmund about their different experiences in multiplicity. Edmund's ability to split himself into many gives himself perhaps a unique perspective on the subject. Pagan is up on the ramparts, taking his meal by himself, but even he seems relaxed, ready for what is to happen. Where are you for when the star falls? Don't all speak at once.
I think that Ida is probably helping Gilgamesh and Hurrit clear, since they can become a bear and move stuff. So yeah, they have taken on some kind of form to assist with
a big bear is helping.
Just a bear, just a full bear, just moving things around, kind of grumbling to themselves.
So with Gilgamesh and Ida, there are two bears working to anyway, moving on.
Always.
I think Yelena's put herself to busy work. She's kind of playing hostess and trying to make sure the drinks are filled and people have the snacks they needed, and making sure that nobody disrupts the sleeping cats and picks cats out of people's food as needed. But she's putting herself to work, being a good host. Not that this is her place to host, but she needs to do something.
That's fair.
I think Halfthor is in wherever the command center, like the commander's quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Just drawing up some. Yeah, there's piles of paperwork. He's looks like he's going through.
Okay. And Anush?
Anush is cleaning up. Anush is sweeping out the corners and trying his best to move the pieces of rubble he is able to lift, just keeping himself busy, head down, trying to turn everybody doing like their jobs and helping out and eating and existing into just like background static noise, waiting for this particular thing to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right. There is no warning sign to prepare you. One moment everything is normal. The next, there is a colossal noise, and something glowing bright, flaming red crashes into the ground of the courtyard, kicking up massive clods of dirt and clouds of dust as it leaves your ears ringing. Through the dust, a hole can be seen in the ground, and the meteor's slowly fading heat and glow can be seen within. The cats have already scattered. Well, that's disappointing, mutters Bast. Then you hear something you did not expect. The sound of Pagan laughing with delight. A quick glance up shows him rising into the sky, an expression of utter rapture on his face. He puts his arms out and begins to fly rapidly around the fort, doing turns, flips, loop-de-loops. His voice roars out with the sound of complete freedom. Hurrit turns to Gilgamesh, his pupils wide. That home I was told about. Gilgamesh pulls his attention briefly away from the Starfall and says, Aeternatis? Yes, I will go there. It is not a request, it's a statement. There is much I need to study, and I am needed there. The rest of our new brethren can come as well to learn and to help. Otto was sitting on the blanket nearby and says, I will take you. Sparks crackle along his arms. And Yelena, you feel the touch of the Morrigan in your mind. She speaks, but her voice is quiet and fading. Sister, I had hoped for more time. Never forget that you are a witch. Do not let the world happen to you. You happen to it. Long may we. A glance at Cucullin sees him shaking his head and frowning. All the French officers she was inhabiting look lost. The Morrigan is gone. Robert is standing still, staring at the meteor as its glow fades and its heat ebbs away. His eyes are filled with vision and with confusion. And then something happens. Hurrit, you can feel that it is him. You can feel his, comforting presence. Hurrit links all of your minds together so that you can all see what Robert is seeing. And what we're going to do now is a bit unorthodox and new. Here's what I want you to do. The four of you are going to mute your mics, but leave your cameras running. I'm going to send you a YouTube link. You will load the video, turn the volume all the way down to 0, and watch the video. It's about 2 minutes long. When you're done, you'll come back to us. While you're watching, try to A, ignore any words on the screen, and B, try to see this experience the way your character would, because the raw footage of this is what you're seeing right now. That worked for everyone? Meanwhile, I and the audience will be watching your reactions for 2 minutes.
Fuck off, Sarah. Why are you so fucking good at this?
Absolute legend.
I can't. I'm gonna cry.
All right, so I'm about to put this into the private chat. And then you will mute your mics, turn the volume down, and watch. Here we go. Is everyone done? All right. We can take a moment because that was some heavy shit. Let me take my ticker off. Okay. That is what you all see.
Yelena goes to find Hafthor and just
Well,
holds
he's
on.
already walked out of those quarters. There's only one way in and out of a fort, so you would have seen him whenever you came out of your thing, like immediately through the door with a bunch of papers in his hand, looking for you.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. And then I would like to lock minds with her real quick.
Okay.
Perfect. One superb +1. He Hafthor. Again, we talked about a little bit emotions infecting these, like, sort of not infecting, pervading some of these, like, interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And this, like, image of a lake, if you will, is sort of the setting that Hafthor always kind of chooses. It's bright and sunny, and there's, like, this sweet smell of salt air, and there's it's, like, very clearly like a spring setting, and in that he imparts to Curate that the I think he appears, and he just says to him, a long time ago I was a father, and my father told me that it was his utmost responsibility, and one day it would be mine, that the gravest responsibility a parent has is to ensure that your child is a better person than you. And I know I'm not your father, but I did help bring you into this new world. And it is my greatest pleasure to know that a greater man than me is in it. And then we'll see a bunch of papers that Hafthor was drawing up, and the outpost is his. Everything. He says, "This is your land and your people. I've always only been a guest. I know you will lead us into a brighter future, and I'll gladly fall in line when that time comes. But for now, this is where we depart."
I understand, and I will see you again.
I'll see you again. And then Hafthor walks out of the fort. Kind of like motions to Yelena when she wants. I guess we'll just drop it in her brain. Yeah, he just says to her, I'll be at our home when you're ready.
I think she acknowledges that, and there's a moment of pause because two things happened very quickly to one another. So she goes over to Cucullin and the officers, and I think it's just a moment of mourning. Someone who she didn't really know but felt so connected to in ways that I don't think she'll ever really understand. And she looks at everybody else here. And I think she just needs a moment with everyone. Before she leaves.
You stand solemnly together and remember the presence that is no longer with you.
Ida was a bear
Yes.
when the star fell. And yeah, hot. So hot. A real bear this time, not a fucked up bear.
Yeah.
Callback. But with the fall and the trauma of that, while it wasn't necessarily a bad invasion of their mind, it was still an invasion.
Mm-hmm.
That shock knocked them back into their original form, and they are now once again naked in the middle of this fort. Happened way too many times in the past day, but they are curled up, knees to their chest, rocking with just tears falling down their face, wide-eyed, saying nothing, completely shell-shocked. And I don't think they can move. They are wholly alone and not there. So that is Ida.
Yelena would certainly, once that was noticed, would go silently, just sit with them, hold them if they would allow.
I think at the first touch they would jerk away and just kind of stare at you with wide eyes. I can't.
It's okay. I don't know. None of us know what that means. I don't know that I can either. But, and she just holds her hands out to you and may I hold you?
I think they just collapse, and because they are also small, like in this form, honestly, they're probably smaller than you, just based off of the 300 or so years of human growth. They're a very slight feminine person in this form, and so they collapse into you and hold on. And I think for the first time ever, you see them break, and they are weeping like the child they were never allowed to be. And just at that point, the shock is still there, but it's the floodgates have opened, and they hold on, and just it's let everything out that has happened in the past very, very, very many years of their life.
And Yelena will hold and cry with, but hold for as long as Ida will allow.
I guess, well, I'm going to be touching you for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what is the memory, what are the thoughts that are closest to the surface right now for Yelena?
Loss. The loss of the Morrigan is forefront. The last few days, the tension and everything that is brewed between the people that she loves the most and herself and everyone. And the changes within her from before, when just now when the star fell, the fear about all of that. It's a lot of confusion, a lot of flashes of any number of things. You'd see some of the nightmares and so on and so forth, doubt within herself, of herself.
I think after letting everything out and just exercising all of that and finally crying it out and getting, like, having that done and having quiet, Ida takes a slow, deep breath, straightens, clears their throat, and then moves from clutching you to putting their hands on each side of your face and say, I am so sorry for your loss. She wasn't bad. I was looking forward to knowing her.
Thank you. I don't understand really the claim here for it, but it hurts. I thought we would have all had time to get to know her. I think she thought the same. But I'm sure she's at peace now, if that's possible for us.
I think that with you here, she will never be truly gone.
I hope so.
No, I know it. You are good. You're the best of us. I speak from experience. You make us better.
I don't think I show you anything more than what's already there. I've missed you these last years.
I'm sorry.
But I'm so proud of who you are.
The tears start falling again. I thank you. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
No, I think I do. I think that there is something that we have in common that we have had to deal with alone. And you are not alone, ever. No matter how far I am. Just remember.
Okay.
I'm okay. I don't have any clothing again. Why do I not have?
Look, it's,
I've got a fix for this. And they turn into a wolf. This is their true form, the form that they have really love to be. And as this big wolf, like almost dire wolf size, like a wolf of legend at this point. They rub against your cheek and they nudge you with a look on their face like, you know what you need to, you know where you need to be. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I
Can't
think
wait till 1958 when spandex is invented.
I know.
You...
Full Hulk, man. I gotta have my superhero outfits, guys. I'm just always wearing.
Hey, if we're 200 years early on syringes, we could be a little early on spandex.
Hey, you never know.
Well.
Yeah. Yes, I found Anush finds a rubber tree.
It's fine. I didn't make the patent for it, so somebody else, found the idea.
Anush is really the secret. Like that's it.
All the innovation, none of the administration.
There we go. That is a vibe.
You're just like the anti-Elon Musk.
Hey, listen. Yes. Please. And they nuzzle your cheek and then they just give you a big old puppy lick on the face. The worst kind, especially because it's a dire wolf tongue. It's like this massive dog just licking.
She has a cow lick forever now.
Yeah. And then they kind of look around and they spot Bast because the animal's looking for the animals, and they kind of like there's this feeling inside of them, and they're like, it's weird when cat noises come out of a wolf, but 100% Ida starts meowing at Bast like, hey, like what's hello.
Yelena's trying to remember if she took mushrooms this morning or not.
Bast jumps in that way.
Microdose may have been a macrodose.
Yeah. It saw Bast saw a cucumber and it jumped really high. And yeah.
And she meows at you and says, hello. I see that you can speak to me now. That's good.
I like this. I mean, I never minded the telepathy, but this is nice too.
It's good to hear a civilized tongue.
Absolutely. What? Are you good? Where are all the cat? Were you hoping for an army of empowered cats?
Maybe.
Listen, great idea, kind of terrifying. Next time.
Well, it didn't work anyway. Next time I'll have to pen them in or something.
Okay, I think we might need to have a conversation about consent. Bast, you're great, but like we gave if we can give the French an option, we should probably offer the same to cats.
We can give the French an option. The French are the baseline.
Well,
it's only because oh, never mind. That's too bad of a joke.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's
God. I don't want to insult our French audience too much.
Not too much.
We love you, the French.
Yeah.
The French.
Anush Hurt is holding the sphere out to you.
Anush is a little distracted at the moment. When he got the vision, just instinctively looked up, and when it faded, all he could see was Pagan flying in the air, and it gave him this weird sense of like that was something terrible. There was something terrible about what he had just seen, but he doesn't know why, and he doesn't know what he had seen. And then he thought for a moment. There were windows on that thing. Like a building, people inside of it. And then thought how the Morrigan changed the fate of what this vision was last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then saw Pagan flying. And then all of a sudden kind of just like feels the blood in his body, his heart pound, and just like move towards him as this man that he has loved, still loves, is flying, using a power that is literally drawing him closer. And then out of the corner of his eye sees her. Did you do that?
I connected us, yes.
Oh. Thank you.
It was an experience. And he holds out the sphere and says, if anyone can decipher what may be told from this, it is, of course, you. And you can see it when you look at it that it is slightly smaller than the last one. And it's riddled with holes, little rectangular holes all over it in patterns.
Has holes with patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Anush looks at this thing. Is there anything he recognizes about it that could give him a clue?
Does Anush know binary?
No, and I'll tell you why. Because the cipher for the code that is on this has not yet been invented.
That's some punch computer bullshit. Hell yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh my god, he is fucking Bill Gates. Let's go.
Anush is perplexed. I've never seen anything like this before. What do you think that thing was that we saw?
Whew. It was unlike anything I've ever seen, but it looked like something built, and it looked like... And it was something that flew, and then it was gone. So I feel that was not a success.
There were windows.
Yes. So there were. So people inside, looking out.
Like we were chasing the stars.
A way to go to the stars?
Maybe. Who's to say? Maybe we figure out where they come from.
That is an avenue that I think we should explore.
Even if it leads to what we just saw?
If it does, we should have as much influence over it as we can.
I like your forethought, Huret. Seems you were built for this.
I hope so. I hope that there is a purpose behind it. Because that would mean that we are more likely to succeed.
What do you wish to succeed in? It is something that has always troubled me.
My priorities are to bring these people together and set them to a purpose with consent.
I have always struggled to find what that purpose is.
I feel that human beings are made inherently without purpose, and so we seek it where we cannot find it. We feel the absence, and so we seek to fill it. But perhaps we have some purpose that we do not yet know. I would like to discover it.
I think I would like to help you discover it. If you don't mind.
I do not. Your help is welcome.
I think I have to go talk to a flying man now.
I wish you luck.
I will need it. Walks away.
Mm-hmm. The flying man in question has settled into a sort of a hover above the center where the star used to fell, and he's grinning from ear to ear and sort of turning around, just enjoying this three-dimensional way of movement that he now enjoys.
Hey, catch. I'm going to throw him the star.
I'm going to do an athletics roll. I want to see if he fumbles it.
He's
No,
just
you're okay.
he's so excited
It
to
would have been
fly.
so funny if Sarah says it falls and drops like a Fabergé egg.
Just scattered.
Oh, next season's canceled.
Goodbye.
He catches it, puts it up in his hand, flips it a few times. This one's got holes.
You always did notice things.
Oh, your
I see you
condescending
can-
way of flirting is so sweet.
Who says I am flirting? It's
I
because
say
I
you're
threw a
flirting.
ball?
He hands it back to you. That's not for me.
I don't know. You noticed about as much as I did when I looked at it.
You'll get it. So where are you going now?
I do not know.
Hmm.
It is strange how you can have a purpose for so long and then meet it. And then what?
Usually then I drink.
It doesn't work on me.
Mm. You truly
Usually
are cursed.
Usually I look to you.
Mm-hmm. I know it. We came together in a unique way. You needed a bodyguard. I needed to stay alive. And then it sort of developed and got complicated and... Oh, gosh. Love you. Think I'll always love you. But I gotta go. I'm free now.
You have always been free.
See? See, you think that, but I wasn't. I was tied. I got tied up. And you didn't do that. I did that. It was on the inside. It was all tangled. But now I can escape. Not you. I'm not escaping you. To be clear, I still think you're fantastic. But I gotta be me, and I don't know how to be it around you. So, time for discovery.
Hey, can I hold your hand?
Let me see how suspicious he gets. He shrugs, holds out his hand.
I think very cautiously Anoush folds his hand into Pagan's. There's just this sense, this thing, this magnetism that is more now when he's around him. And as he slips his fingers in between Pagan's, he can feel Pagan's heart beating through his thick, impenetrable skin.
Don't make it weird.
But you don't like the word skin? It's our
Yeah,
biggest organ.
That's
I
the
think
one.
the emotional
It was
manipulation
thick
to
that got me,
steal his
honestly.
former lover's
Oh, it was
powers
thick?
already
I mean,
made
it
it
is.
weird.
I don't know. His
He said
big
true
sausage
thing.
fingers.
He would know.
Anyway, guys, this is my boyfriend. For now, no, we broke up. But so hands in hands. And I think that's like when Anoush kind of like feels like this surge.
Mhm.
And can I make an empathy roll to
You
see
sure
if I
can.
can do a thing?
Mm-hmm.
That is a good.
Okay. Yeah, you can get that.
And then Anoush kind of just starts to float a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You can borrow.
I thank you.
Tell you what, fly with me for a minute.
Just don't let go of my hand. I can feel it slipping away already.
I won't let go. And he takes you around for one last flight together.
For one last flight. That's so sweet.
And then he leaves.
That's some weird breakup sex.
It wasn't a euphemism, damn it.
We just flew. Calm down.
Yeah.
Yelena has made her way home.
I did wanted to add before, right before he left,
Uh-huh.
Hathor also invites Robert to his home.
Okay.
It's an awkward walk through the forest, being like, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't expect Robert to show up immediately. Just to be clear, he just says, "Stop by when you can," kind of thing.
All right. We'll zip to that then. We'll zip to you two at home, and Robert arrives.
I think there might be a conversation necessary before Robert.
Oh, okay. Go for it. I'll unzip then.
Yeah.
Please, converse.
I think when Yelena walks in, Hathor, I think before she even walks in, outside of the home, outside of the place they have built into their place on the hill, there are cases out. There are trunks filled with winter gear and like all this, not all of the stuff of their home. A lot of the stuff of their home that is mostly Hathor's. And then I think when she walks in, there is a bunch of his stuff from the study. There's, I think I mentioned, like, there's a lot of books. One of the habits Hathor had made was to go to as many libraries. Once he learned about, like, the burning of Alexandria, the sacking of Rome, and some of these, like, Greek city-states and how much knowledge was lost, one of the things he would do on his travels was transcribe rare works that were in libraries. So there is a huge case of books. There are sketches and like city blueprints for a lot of the major cities in North America and across Europe. There's a lot of like samples of different things, different species of plants and different that are like poisonous or beneficial in rare places that they've stopped by that Yelena has said we need. So there's probably like a few different greenhouse style samples that all have like a protective case even among them to ensure that they always have these supplies that Yelena said they would need. And I think as Yelena comes in, Hathor stops and says, I don't blame you or hold it against you for your vote. But I can't deny that I'm hurt.
I know.
But I think more than my feelings, it has made me question my own wisdom. Yelena, I was closed off to the world. There was a part of me I thought I could never get back, a part I thought I couldn't trust before I met you. I thought I was unfit to lead, unfit to stand at the front. And I think not just you. I think the wisdom of the Conclave has shaken that belief again. I thought I knew the best way forward. But I also know rejection when I see it. I'm going to leave this place and step away from Aeternatis. And I'm going to do what I think I am best at. Many great leaders water the seeds of trees that they never get to enjoy the shade of. Visionaries plant those, and others tend those gardens and orchards for others to enjoy forever. But somebody has to clear the way. Going to Boston. I'm going to raise hell.
Judging by what is packed, you assumed you're going alone?
I assume nothing of your decisions anymore.
I understand that I hurt you, and I regretted it the moment the words left my mouth. But you have to know the faith I have in you. I will be with you in Boston, and I will be by your side for as long as it takes for you to get the same faith I have in you back in yourself. I recently told someone that I know how to deal with beautiful things that would rather present their thorns. And I will help you flourish where you need to. I will help you prune what no longer serves you. But just because this was a moment where not everybody saw eye to eye with you does not mean that they do not trust you, that they do not share the same faith in you. But I understand that healing takes time. And I will spend every moment, like you did for me, at your side. For as long as it takes.
And you are welcome.
I fucking better be.
And then I think Hathor lays out his plan, which is the idea that that the Northeast seems to be the center of the transatlantic world. It is the developing. There's one of the reasons that Hathor, instead of going west because he liked it so much more and thought it was beautiful, instead of going too far west, was because of his many secret researches and the proximity to Ivy League schools. Knowing that the greatest minds on the continent are there, and the greatest minds across the continent often travel there to speak. That is one of the many libraries he's plundered. So he lays out the plan to ingratiate, and through the way that the American political system has always worked, through donations and through blackmail, work his way onto many committees and chairs and councils, and then come out as a abolitionist. He's going to expand Ragnar Industries to shipbuilding, buy up port properties all along the Boston Harbor to make ships, to become a shipbuilder. And he intends to fill this workforce by buying up slaves and immediately freeing them and having them live under his protection. And anyone who insults his workers, him or his family, is immediately satisfaction is demanded of them. And then Hathor asks Yelena her wisdom. He thinks he can help Robert find a new identity as another luminary, and wonders if she asks her if she thinks they should bring him in. And then he just continues packing and moving and getting all their stuff ready to go.
All right. Soon after, Robert shows up. He is looking. He's looking shaken, is how he's looking, and sort of. Usually, Robert walks with a swagger. You know, the swagger is not there right now. He is de-swaggered, but he comes to your door and calls in, "Hello, the house. I see you're preparing to leave."
Come in, sit, and then ale is placed on the table for him. I think a drink is probably a little bit of what everyone needs at the moment.
Yes, you have a talent for understatement that I was not aware of.
Mm.
Emerging from a box that he was quickly pulling some papers out of, in his mind, Robert hears, "You're a guest. Insult my wife again and you won't be." And
Chill, bro.
hands him some papers, and they are copies of Da Vinci's sketches.
He looks through them.
Flying ornithopters and the twisties and the whatever.
Gliders and the
Yeah.
the helicopter, yeah.
I thought seeing Pagan copy my trick was pretty annoying, but I thought me and him would probably be the only ones to be able to fly. Maybe ever. It seems like Da Vinci was more genius than they even thought.
Yes. This is an accomplishment that I would never have expected.
It's beyond the scope of even imaginative possibilities. I assume, as probably more than me, you keep up on technological advancements and scientific advancements, and this is even beyond theory. There was one frame of reference of a bird flying through that video, and those rockets had to be going at speeds that would make Loki blush. Rockets, those machines, those houses, those monstrosities had to be moving at speeds that would make Loki blush.
Yes.
I've also flown as high as I think a person can. The what would be required to breathe and move and stay, it's something is coming. There is going, just as nobody saw the printing press coming and it changed the world.
It did.
There is going to be another printing press. And we need to make sure the right people own that and have a piece of that. Because if this potential is unleashed, what war-making abilities could also be accomplished?
The sheer amount of energy that was being used there, it's unimaginable. If that were used for war.
And I knew you would recognize that. I'm a big enough man now to admit that perhaps the reason I disliked you so is we share the same qualities I dislike about myself. But those qualities are what separate us from most men. The Conclave is going to need defense and war-making abilities. As that develops, I think you are the naturally in a position to be the lead of that. But I would like to silently be a partner. And then in his brain, he shares the same idea of what he told Yelena.
Okay.
Of this is the new center of the West Atlantic world, and that any assistance he could give, he would, and that he recommends establishing it. He essentially says it's easier to establish yourself as someone here where there is still growing power than it will be to dethrone, or the questions that would come with an old world establishment, right, of an identity. And then also peeks a little bit into Ulf partners at law, and the way that he's been able to stack. That's what reflects my character sheet in putting resources to good. Been able to stack his holdings and interests, and be able to pretty easily create identities, and sort of offers his help in that way.
Yes, I see this going a good way. I will have to tie up my loose ends. It may take a few years. Until then, my office is in New York. You may contact me there. And then I will come to you.
Hafthor offers his hand.
Takes it.
And they grab each other's forearms like was common in the way they were born.
Very mad.
Packs up. And whenever... Unless you got any other interactions, Hafthor wants to make haste. Actually, I take that back. I forgot. I didn't talk to Ida. He needs to talk to Ida.
I was going to say, you better say goodbye to them. If you don't, they're walking around like a very large wolf, and they will bite you, and I'm going to let them.
I would deserve it.
I
guess I'll go try to find Ida.
Ida has, as a wolf, went and found once again some clothes somewhere. Probably the clothes that they had the forethought to like take clothes off before they became a bear this time. They didn't just like become a bear in the moment, which like every outfit just gets shredded every single time. It's really, they're learning. Smarter, not harder. So they kind of wandered to find something to put on. So they are at this point back in the form of Mohegan, and they have packed up their some kind of belongings and food and travel pack things, and is walking out, and probably you spot them as you're coming back towards the fort.
He comes up, or no, so you're in Mohegan form now. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was thinking you were form. He comes in and says, well, I'm glad this Starfall was less eventful than the last one. Very sarcastically.
They kind of laugh at that. Yeah. I mean, less dead people. That's for sure.
True. We did do something right, it seems.
Yeah, I turned into a giant monster.
It was doubly terrifying for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. I hated it.
I'm gonna have to think about that for a long time. That felt really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't know what your plans are, where you will go, but I want to let you know, as always, you're always welcome, and we are headed out. Jean-Michel died yesterday.
Good. Hated that one.
In the fall of it's a good name. I like
It's
it.
a terrible name.
It's a good name. Yes. We're headed out. I think I will need to be more near civilization. We're going to Boston, and then so that I don't have to repeat this exposition.
Yeah.
He kind of takes your hand and shares with you all the same stuff he's told. And I think there was like a little added when him and Yelena were talking more about plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yelena plans to be a bit of a run some operations. And that that there will always be a place, essentially, and that he wants to stay. He really emphasizes though the education part, like wants to stay near centers of education, and knows that was a secondary or tertiary interest for Ida for a while, and essentially is saying, hey, we can make you a professor or a dean or something like that if you wanted. Want to be a doctor?
Ida squeezes your hand and laughs at that. No, I appreciate the thought. I have no interest in pursuing this culture that I was born into. That being said, I have ears, and I have been here for quite a long time, and the writing is on the wall about what is coming our way. So, I will follow you to Boston and see what potentially I could shepherd in and where you might need a little cat to sneak in, perhaps.
Perfect.
After
that,
I
have no interest in pursuing your culture either. I have vested interest in destroying it from the inside. So
yeah,
if you want to do that as a cat or as a professor at Harvard, I don't care. I'll just be glad you'll be here with us.
From what I've heard, academia is absolute bullshit. No, I'm good.
It's awful.
It's the worst. I don't think so. But no, I feel like I can use my talents for good. So we're still holding hands. You gave me all this information.
I did.
What memory, like, what is it just planning that's at the surface for you right now? Is it just,
absolutely, or is there
not any feeling? Yeah,
there is. Yeah, you know this answer, Laura. We fucking played together long enough, all right?
Gimme.
I think always in Half Thor's mind, there's it's really complicated because ironically enough, Havlor is also always thinking about who sent these robots and where does it come from and why did they do it. But he's more thinking of it in the way of how are we going to be ready to both meet whatever thing they're preparing us for, whatever threat, but also then how do we get rid of it when we don't need it, because this power shouldn't exist. That is his obsession. So I think with that, and particularly with this planning, primarily in his mind is always Yelena. So I think you would see and feel hurt and like cold towards that, like a bit of like a maybe beginning to heal wound, but still pretty sore. I think you see like rage, like fire towards Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Real like intense. Like if I had to give you, it would probably evoke your memories of Hathor with Robert the first time.
Yeah.
And then again, I think just to give like a visual of it instead of, because I feel like maybe this is the way my brain works. Like so much of my thought process is not narrative. It's feelings, right? It's images and whatever. I think you see both pity and disgust with Anush. And then with the rest of the conclave, it is more of like that. You are a parent. You understand this. Or, well, kind of you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You watch over children.
Yeah.
You know when you give that 10 to 12-year-old, like, hey, you can make this choice. It's up to you. And you really want them to make the right decision, and they don't. And you're like, you stupid fucking idiot. I love you, but you're so dumb and naive.
Yeah.
You see a lot of those feelings towards the rest of the conclave.
Yeah.
And then I think he would be aware something happened and you'd feel a jerk of his hand.
Mm-hmm. They would let go. They wouldn't force you to continue. But they would kind of smile, very tired smile, and just kind of sigh. No one knows Anush like we do. We were there at the beginning. And you and I have a very particular viewpoint and a very we're more invested. Now, everybody else's thoughts are their own. There is good sense in what happened. But there's also nothing wrong with how we feel. It's different for us. So, you and I, we can find a dock, have some drinks, take a moment when there's time, and have our grief is interesting, isn't it? But you have a wife who is uncannily understanding and probably to her own detriment, too patient. And you know that. I know you know that. I see it. I make fun of you about it all the time. And I know you know that. So, I say this to remind you that she understands what you're going through right now. And she is patient and will be there as you work through this very very you're not wrong to feel the way you feel, and you need to work through it, and she will be there. So I hope that takes some burden off of your mind. If there is one thing that will never change, it is the fact that that woman is not leaving you, whether you like it or not. And you're welcome. I am not saying it like to, you're lucky. You know that. You know all the heartache that a man can go through. You have been through every unbelievable tragedy that a single person can have, and most cannot stand up to it. And you have. You have, and you will, and you'll continue. If there is one thing that I will never doubt about you, is that you will come out the other side sticking to your beliefs. Consistency, thy name is Hathor. This is hard, and I desperately hope that Anush can find what he needs to make this unending life of his bearable. But I can no longer be a part of the torture he puts upon himself. So,
I think when Hathor pulled his hand away, he did like a little bit of a 3/4 turn, almost in like shame. Sort of felt shamed to have a bit of that. It's just a shocking vulnerability, right? And I think as you finish speaking, he sort of turns back, and there's a tear running down his cheek, and he says, I owe you such a debt. And I don't know that I can ever repay it, because even in the moments I've doubted myself the most and believed I was lost forever and irredeemable, you still believed in me. And I'm so very thankful for that. Part of the reason I feel so strongly towards Anush is I suffer from a lot of the same melancholy. I moped around for 400 years. I, too, long for the death that I thought I could have. I live with the ghosts of a family that I could not save. And ghosts of knowledge that I cannot find. And yet, everything I needed to pull me out of that was here. It is not because my troubles do not exist that I love my life so. It is despite those things, because of the ones who also love me. I find his treatment and rejection of you and my wife and all the others detestable beyond anything else. And I can't disagree with anything you're saying. So let us try to use this Starfall as another chapter. Perhaps a section, volume, an ever-expanding story to leave what hurt us here and move on. Because you did not become my sibling because we happened to be standing next to each other when a star fell. You became my sibling because you loved me even when I said no. Because you cared for me even when I rejected it. And because you were there with open arms when I was ready to accept both those things.
Well, if there's one thing that I have in common with my brothers, it is stubbornness. And a dash of optimism, which I don't share with you two, but someday I wish I could share that with you both. But there is never a debt. Ever. Because this is what family is and what it does. Now let's just fucking go. Your wife
Yes,
is...
there's a pair of idiot brothers in Boston who make really good beer. I've been dying to try it.
Great. Oh, yes, I've heard of this.
Yeah, once I mind trick someone into giving me prime real estate for pennies on the dollar, we'll sit on my new dock and...
You know, they're like walking now. You know, you're a warlord, right? Like, it's kind of terrifying. You do some weird, shady shit. I'm here for it. I love it. But my God.
The same knife that butchers is also is used in war, so feed families and kill enemies.
Siblings.
Right. Does anyone have any other scenes before we skip time? All right. Then where is everyone on April 3rd, 1762? You three in Boston?
Yeah, or running. I think that Ida has dropped taking on the guise of natives because one, that wouldn't be strategic, and also they don't want to drag anybody into it. But they have stayed as the young the young boys who like can sneak in places and deliver messages and not quite Paul Revere it, but they're the ones being the couriers of information amongst everybody. So yeah, probably in Boston, waiting for whatever mission they're about to be sent on.
What time is it?
Yeah, Sarah. What's the time exactly?
Is it dawn? Because if it's dawn, Havthor is in a powdered wig, a high, billowy collar that comes down to a fine 3-piece suit with an overcoat, and is standing in a dewy field counting to 10 before he's about to nick a bullet across someone's cheek.
In New Jersey. So you're in New Jersey where it's legal. Everything's legal in New Jersey.
Technically, it's still... I looked this up. Technically, it's still legal in Massachusetts at the time.
Anush, where are you in 1762?
I think Anush is on Aeternatis.
All right. God, I'm so glad somebody's on Aeternatis. Okay. All right. In that case... All right, guys. First of all, I'm sorry. Second of all, on April 3rd, 1762, at 4:23 in the morning, Robert of View suddenly jerks awake, his eyes shooting open wide in an instant as he rapidly draws breath. In his mind, the vision lingers, keeping him paralyzed for a few moments after that first breath. Then blessedly it loses his grip and he is able to breathe normally again. His eyes are haunted. The single word, no, escapes his lips, and an expression of disbelief, a plea. Then, as though ashamed of that moment of weakness, he pushes himself into a seated position and composes himself. His pulse slows. His quickened breathing relaxes to a normal pace. Robert remembers who he is. No, he says, this time in defiance. Within a matter of minutes, he is out the door. His carriage driver is pulled out of a peaceful sleep by the insistent shouts of his employer, and Robert is driven at a breakneck pace to the harbor. Thankful that he'd chosen New York for his office, once he arrives at the docks, he searched, hoping desperately that he wasn't too late, that the ship was still in dock. There, just a short walk away, the Stormbreaker, Otto's ship. Rousing a hungover Otto and Edmund from their cabins, he tells them where they need to travel. Before he even gets around to telling them why, Otto is headed to the rigging. We see the corner of Robert's mouth tilt up. They've been something that you could call friends for many years now, and real friends aren't something Robert has in abundance. It gives him a moment of peace before he has to tell the rapidly waking Edmund where they are going and why. Edmund's face goes pale and he runs off, shouting at the crew. It's a 3 to 5 week sail from New York to Aeternatis, the island of the empowered, depending on the weather. But the weather and Otto are friends, and Otto calls in some favors. As the leagues pass by, closing the gap between them and their goal, Robert looks into the sea foam and dares to hope that they may not be too late. But as the island comes into view, so does the fleet. He wonders where they came from, this fleet of half a dozen ships with its unfamiliar black and blue flags. His vision hadn't shown him where they were from. Only what they did. It's a race now, and they're determined to get there first, to at least provide some minutes of warning. Every second could be a life spared, if they're able to put up some sort of fight. Otto is at the wheel of the ship, his knuckles white, his beard crackling with static as he pushes his power to the limit to push the ship beyond its limits. There are at least half a dozen Edmunds running around, making sure the sails can handle the stress. The wood creaks so loudly that Robert fears the masts will snap. But they hold, and the Stormbreaker pulls ahead. But pulling ahead takes everything Otto has, and he slumps. His first mate takes the wheel, and Otto leans against the quarterdeck, trying to regain his strength and composure. The ships are closing on them now. There is gunfire. A scream. Someone is hit. An Edmund falls over the side of the ship. They're in range, another Edmund says, needlessly. But they were close now, rounding the cliffs. Soon they would be close enough to be heard, close enough to warn if they made it that far. "Ring the bell," Robert calls out. A crewman begins ringing the ship's bell, but a musket ball puts an end to that quickly. "We don't have the guns to fight them," Robert says, frustration turning his face red. But Otto shakes his head and points over the starboard railing. "Don't need guns, we've got her." And indeed, Mirwine is there, making her presence known with an image of her face flickering in the waves. She makes no sounds, but she looks excited as she makes her way towards their pursuers. The gunshots are getting more frequent. An Edmund rushes up to Robert and gently guides him and Otto to the captain's cabin, ducking instinctively as a shot is fired nearby. "Get in there, let all of me handle this." Not all of you," Otto replies. "One of you should stay here with us. All we have to do is stay alive long enough to warn them. Mirwine can buy us that time." Edmund reluctantly agrees. They collectively can't bear to close the door to the cabin, though. So they end up standing awkwardly in the doorway, looking out at the chaos of the crew and the Edmunds trying to sail while being shot at. And indeed, the ship begins to pull away from the fleet as the sea itself turns against the fleet, pushing back with strong currents, startling them with waterspouts, twisting their rudders out of position. They are traveling on the sea, and the sea is not on their side. So they pour burning pitch overboard and set the sea on fire. And the sea screams. When he hears that scream, when he hears the death of Mirwine, Robert has already grabbed Otto having seen a moment before what would happen. But he isn't strong enough, and Otto rips his way out of the hold to run out onto the deck, screaming for Mirwine to get away to save herself. A musket ball hits him from the side, breaking ribs and shredding his right lung. He falls. Robert sees his death. He knows that if he runs foolishly out there after his friend, he will be shot. He is not a fool. Stone-faced, he reaches for the door to close it. Otto makes a piteous coughing sound and Robert breaks. He runs. Behind him, Eadmund is screaming for him to come back. There are Eadmunds dying all around him, and crew, just ordinary people who signed up for a seafaring life with these two obviously supernatural sailors, are dying, screaming and dying. Ships now loom to either side. Any moment now there will be boarding. Robert spares a thought to hope that the gunshots and screams are loud enough to prepare Aeternatis. He kneels down to Otto, who has stopped breathing, and says, "I'm sorry I couldn't hold on." And then a musket ball hits him in the lower abdomen, and Robert of View begins to bleed out and die of organ failure. But Aeternatis is prepared, because Hurrit was there. There are watchers. There are people coming to the cliffs. Gilgamesh leaps from a cliff down, screaming. This huge man, the oldest, most powerful man in the world, screaming, killing, throwing people off of their ships, taking their guns, using them, throwing more people off the ships. There are 4 French officers with muskets ready to fire, and they do. One by one, the empowered people come to the defense of Aeternatis. And thanks to their preparation, no one else dies that day. No one else except for many, many humans. The next day on Aeternatis, it's not a funeral exactly. The bodies are not on display, but those who were at Aeternatis, those who were in the fight, come together. No one seems to know what to say for a while. People try, but even Gilgamesh, who's normally able to throw up any number of anecdotes, is quiet. Finally, Hurrit stands. And he says, "We grieve for our friends today. People we knew. People who our lives were so deeply connected to. If it is your belief that you will one day meet our friends again in some afterlife, then take your comfort in that. Until that day, we will honor them. On the morrow, there will be changes. Aeternatis remains our heart, but it can no longer be our home. Those of us who are willing and able must infiltrate the power structures of this world. We must learn its secrets. We shall find those who know of us and wish us exterminated. We shall work against them and put an end to the threat. And so we change the world. We act our will upon it to make a world worth living in for us and for generations yet to be. But that is tomorrow. Today we grieve." After that, Hurrit makes the rounds, coming to everyone in turn, traveling the world to convey the news of what happened. And He says many things, many beautiful things, because he has a talent for speech. But one of the things that he says is this. He says, I can see why everyone says it. Long may we endure. I didn't before, but I get it now. It's raging against the dying of the light, but doing it together. It's admitting that with all our flaws and failings, we're something worth living for, worth enduring for. And so we will. And that is the end of episode 4 of Ticonderoga. Thank you all for joining us for this very difficult time in our game. We love you, and we hope that you will join us in our social media. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining us today. Halley's Children is written by Serafina Smith using the Fate system. The players are David Robles as Halfthor, Cameron Khoshgam as Anush, Laura Galliher as Ida, Courtney Lee as Yelena, and the Game Master is Serafina Smith. Music by Kevin MacLeod and Amsley Beats. Editing by Laura Galliher. We hope you enjoyed the drama, laughter, and chaos as much as we did. If you had a blast, don't forget to share the love and tell your friends. Until next time, keep searching for that rainbow.